This video is a technique for how to solve rational equations. So remember, a rational equation is when you have a variable in the denominator of a fraction and you're trying to solve. All right, so solving, we're going to use this technique that I call the LCD technique. LCD, remember, stands for least common denominator. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to factor any denominators that I can factor and then find the least common denominator of the denominators. All right. I'm going to create the numerator. All right. By using a special technique, I'll explain it as best I can. This numerator is going to become the equation to solve, and then we'll solve the equation. So let's take a look here at the first one. All right. This is the LCD technique. First thing that I do is I look at all three denominators. Now, none of these denominators are binomials or trinomials. So I know I'm just dealing with monomials here. To do the monomials, I simply look at them in pieces. So the number and then the variable. For example, to find my LCD, I have a 3, a 3, and a 1. Remember the number in front of there? If there's no number, it's a 1. So I know the least common multiple of the denominators would be 3. Then I look at the variables. I have x squared, and x squared. So I know that the LCD must contain x squared. All right, so my LCD is the denominator. The next thing I'm going to do is create the numerator. And this is where it gets a little unique, okay? So I'm going to do this in blue. I'm going to ask myself first, what do I multiply this denominator by to make it become the LCD? So 3x squared, what do I multiply that by to make it 3x squared? I'm going to multiply it by 1. I take 1 times the numerator. So I have 1 times 1. Minus. Same thing, repeat the pattern. What do I multiply 3x squared by to make it become the LCD, 3x squared? Again, I'm going to multiply it by 1. So I'm going to write minus 1 times the numerator. And the numerator in this case was a binomial. Equals. What am I going to multiply 1x squared by to make it become 3x squared? Well, I have to multiply it times 3. So I'm going to write 3 times the numerator 1. This is the equation that I have to solve. All right, so to solve this equation, I'm going to simplify. I have 1 minus 1x minus 2 equals 3. Combine like terms, I have negative 1x minus 1 equals 3. Add 1, negative 1x is equal to 4. Divide to solve, x is negative 4. And this is the solution to the equation. All right, this value of x is negative 4. If I plug it in everywhere I have an x squared, I would have the left side of the equation equals the right side. All right, let's try a second one here. Let's say for this problem, we have 2x plus 8 over x squared plus 6 over x equals 3 over x. All right, so the LCD technique, the first thing that I notice here for the LCD is I have 3 monomials. Here's my denominators, 1, 2, 3, and they're all monomials. So then I say, okay, since they're all monomials, I don't have any numbers or coefficients to deal with. All right, my LCD, though, is going to always be the highest power of the monomial. So this LCD is going to be x squared. Okay, so I go to my first denominator, x squared. What would I multiply that by to get x squared? Well, I'm not trying to change it, so multiply it by 1. So I'm going to take 1 times the numerator, 2x plus 8, plus. The second denominator is x. What do I multiply x by to make it x squared? Well, I would multiply it times x. So I'm going to take x times 6, and I could write it as plus 6 times x, or I could write it as x times 6. Either way is fine. Equals. What do I multiply the third denominator by to make it x squared? Again, I'm going to multiply by x. This one I'm going to write as 3 times x. Again, because I'm multiplying, order doesn't matter. All right, I'm going to clean this up. So I have 2x plus 8 plus 6x equals 3x. All right, this is my equation I have to solve. I'm going to combine like terms. 8x plus 8 equals 3x. I'm going to move the 3x over to the left, so I have 5x plus 8 equals 0. All right, we don't automatically put an equal sign between 5x and 8. Here we go. Subtract 8. 5x is negative 8. Divide to solve. X is negative 8/5. Oh, wait, we can't get an answer that's a fraction. Yeah, we can. All right. So let's try one more of these, and hopefully you guys have enough to get going on your assignment here. Let's say that we have 1 over x squared plus 2x. Okay, now we have a denominator that can be factored. All right, let's see what else we got. Plus 1 over x plus 2. Well, that's a binomial. We haven't seen one of those yet. Equals 2 over x squared plus 2x. Again, we have a denominator that we can factor, but I notice that this denominator and this denominator are the same. So I only really have one thing to factor. And this denominator is our third piece. All right. If I factor this, I notice that it has a GCF of x. So I'm going to write this as x times x plus 2. I know the last one will be exactly the same, so I don't need anything more than that. Now I'm going to figure out my LCD. I have a monomial of x. I have a binomial of x plus 2. In the second one, I have a binomial of x plus 2. In the third one, which I already have represented, in the third one, it's the same as the first, so I don't need any more pieces. Okay. Write the equation. What is the first denominator missing from the LCD? Nothing. So we're going to multiply it times 1. 1 times 1 plus x plus 2. What is that missing from the LCD? Well, we're missing the monomial x. So I'm going to take x times the 1 on top, or 1 times x equals. Third piece, what's missing from that denominator? Comparing it to the LCD? Nothing. So we multiply it times 1. This leaves me with 1 plus x equals 2. Subtract to solve, and I get x is equal to 1. Yes, the problems can be this easy. The hard part is finding the LCD and writing the equation to solve. Hope this helps. Good luck.